Okay, last but certainly not least is going to be the quadratic formula. Now, if I'm only going to do two of these, okay, I'm going to do kind of an easier one and a tougher one. If you need to see more, there are tons on the internet anywhere. I would recommend if you Google like Yay Math and then quadratic formula. That's great practice. Yay Math completing the square, Yay Math factoring. Factoring when a is 1. Make sure you say a is 1. If you do it when a isn't 1, we don't know how to do that yet. Also, Khan Academy is great. So I'll do 2. Well, no, let's do one. I know I said I'd do an easy one, but let's do one let's do 4. Just the reason I chose 4 is because I just want you guys to be clear that you need to get 0 on one side. So that's going to be 2. And sometimes I'll change x or a to x just because I'm more used to that. Okay. So first thing you want to do on these is write down what a is, what b is, and what c is. And then you're going to plug it into the formula. I'll rewrite it here so we can see it all on the same page. Okay, so it starts with negative b, and it looks like b is negative 1. So a negative 1 is 1 plus or minus the square root of b squared. So negative 1 squared is 1 minus 4 times a times c all over 2a. So that's going to equal 1 plus or minus the square root of 1. Okay, now remember the trick that I taught you guys. Count up the subtraction signs that are underneath the radical. So I see 1, 2. If it's an even number, it is 1 plus whatever. If it's odd, like 1 or 3 subtraction signs or negative signs, it's 1 minus. Now I don't need to worry about the subtraction signs under there. I just go 4 times 2 times 15, which is, give me a second, 120 over, not just 2. Remember, a lot of people get going too quickly with this. This is 2a, so 2a in this case is 4. Now I'm going to have 1 plus or minus the square root of 1 plus 120 over 4. And that's going to turn into 1 plus or minus. Square root of 121 is actually nice. It's 11 over 4. So remember, write this part out. 1 plus 11 over 4. And then the other answer is 1 minus 11 over 4. So this is 12 over 4, which is 3. And then this is a little bit more difficult. Negative 10 over 4, which simplifies down to negative 5 over 2. Okay, there's an easier kind. Well, still not easy, I'll give you that. But that's about the difficulty level. That's the expectation right now. Here's one that's a little above and beyond. So for this one, we are going to get everything on one side by subtracting our 6x on both sides, which is going to give me 9x squared. Okay. So let's go ahead and write down what a, b, and c are. So we're going to have negative b, which is 6. Okay, I'm going to count up my subtraction signs into the radical. I see 1, 2, which is even, which is addition. 4 times 9 times 11. I'm going to need a calculator for that. What's 36 plus 396? That'd be 432. Okay. Tough part about this problem is breaking down 432 properly. Now the ones on the test aren't going to be this big, okay? I expect you to break down things like the square root of 80, something like that, maybe a little bit bigger, maybe like 120. So I'm just going to help you a lot with this one and tell you that the perfect square that we need is 144 times 3. If you don't believe me, you can try it on a calculator. 144 times 3 is 432. Square root of 144 is 12. So that's what we need right there. So what we have is 6 plus or minus 12 times the square root of 3 over 18. Now I did this with one class yesterday and a lot of people got this far. Here's how you take it one step farther. There's two ways to do it. You choose which one you like best. So what I can do is I can think of it as 6 over 18 plus or minus 12 over 18. And up there with the 12, we have the square root of 3. And 6 over 18 reduces to a third, plus or minus. 12 over 18 reduces to 2/3, with the square root of 3 on the top. Another way to do it is, I'll write down the original problem on this one. And this is a little more common, but may not be as easy for you. I just write it as one big fraction. Okay, notice how the denominator here is 3 on both of them. And then on top, okay, either way is good. Again, look online, Khan Academy, Yay Math, if you need to see more examples, but I hope all this helps.